Hey, welcome back. Glad you could be with me today. And well, what I want to talk about today isn't actually anything new at all. In fact, it's old stuff. Well, still important though, and it's something that should never be left behind. And well, by old stuff, I mean the stuff you do in the very beginning, and depending on the horse and how long you've been working with it, it might be stuff that you want to run through every single day before you ride it to make sure it's actually responding and you got a connection with it and everything else. But now this guy here is he's had very little training actually. We've just started under saddle with him. And when it comes to doing the groundwork stuff, it's a very good idea with a horse of this age or level of training that you keep revisiting the basics, the very beginning stuff, right from catching him to leading him, flexing, disengage, side pass, all kinds of stuff. Every single thing that you could possibly need your horse to ever do. And it gets the horse responsive to you, paying attention to you. It shows you whether or not your horse is being a little bit difficult, or if it actually just doesn't understand what you want. And all these things are things you need to be checking up on a regular basis. Sometimes they need a little reminder that you're the one calling the shots. Sometimes they need a little kind of a refresher course on some stuff to remember how to do it right. This guy, he seems to be, he's one of these horses that once he figures something out, you don't have to teach him a second time. Although he also, I've discovered recently, has occasionally got a bit of a, I don't feel like doing it. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing today, is we're going to go through all of the basics with him and just, and check and see how things are working. Because I don't actually spend a whole lot of time with this guy, unfortunately. And it's since I've actually run through all of this stuff, it's probably been, I don't know, a month at least. And I probably only get on his back maybe once every 2 weeks kind of thing for a couple of laps of the arena. That's really about it. We don't, unfortunately, we just don't spend a lot of time with this guy. Although we always stop and say hi to him and give him a treat and a little scratch, and just so he remembers who we are. Never have a problem with that. But we're going to start off with things like, well, leading. Let's start at the beginning. Well, I've already caught him, obviously. That's way too easy. But I haven't actually led him in a very long time, so I have no idea what's going to happen here. Let's see, how is he going to lead? Well, so far he's pretty light on the lead. If I stop, does he stop? Well, not where I'd like. So he's going to learn to stay out of my space. There we go. Basically, that's exactly what we would do in the very beginning to teach him how to lead. So he needs a reminder that the rules have never changed. I don't think it's that he doesn't know it. Let's see. Yeah. Instantly, he doesn't need a reminder. As soon as I stop now, he stops. So I think we've kind of got that. Although I don't like the fact that he's still not getting behind me like he should. But, we've never done too much of this kind of stuff with him because we just never really needed to. He's just that easy going. But, so, as part of this purpose is I'm not going to show you everything I'm going to do. I'm not going to, well, or not all of it. I'll show you most of the things I'm going to do, but not the extent. We'll skip quickly. I'm going to actually, off camera, do a little more leading with them. But you got to see the basics. We quickly checked, and guess what? It's not good. Well, it's not horrible, but we're gonna work on that. Now, some other things we want to make sure are good is, how about disengaging? Does he disengage like we'd like him to? Let's see. Oh, that's pretty good. Keep going there. Not bad. Okay, that part's pretty good. I think maybe the little We got his attention while we were leading, and he realized, uh-oh, Dad's going to be asking us to do things. We better be paying attention. Let's see about this direction. Not very responsive. I don't like that. That's kind of his nature too, though. He's one of these guys. He has to think about it for a minute and go, yeah, okay, I guess I'll do it. Hey, sweetheart. Everybody's, well, not everybody. One that's not in here today, but. Well, how about the side pass? And that's another one. Let's see. We're gonna see if he'll do a side pass for us. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. He's doing that real nice. Very good. Well, let's see if he does it towards us. Oh, not as good as I'd like. There we go. Good man. Well, it's not perfect. I could use a little work, so there's another thing that we can spend a little time working on. And, well, then of course there's, I'd use a longer line, and then we get them to, or no line at all, and get them to walk, trot, canter, change directions, all that stuff. That's pretty simple stuff. I'll show you another one that I like to always check on. This is something you should always check before you ride. This is one you should do, and because it makes sure that you got brakes and steering, and that's the flexing. And let's see how good he is at that. He hasn't done this for quite a while. Oh, not bad, not bad. You can see that leads in an open hand, but he's moving. That's not good. So we're going to keep the pressure on until he stops moving and just gives me his head like he's supposed to. There we go. We just felt him soften there. And that's where you don't have to hold his head there. He just all of a sudden realizes that your hand is up there. I better move my head that direction. We'll go the other direction too. Oh, there we go. Look at that. That's lovely. That's what we like to see. Oh, no. Now, you see, as soon as he turned his head back, I grabbed the lead so that there remained pressure on as long as his head was away. Now it's just laying over my thumb. There we go. Very good. But I'm sure there's other things you can do too, like, make sure he's going to back up good for you too. I'm going to put one finger on the halter and just say, hey, back up, buddy. Oh, you don't want to, see? It's a little sticky there. Should do this a little more often. There we go. There we go. Good man. And, but I'm sure there's other things you can think of too you could get him to do. But, that's the purpose of this video. It's not to show you anything new, but remind you of the things that we've covered previously, of the old things that should never really be old. You should always be doing them. And, even if you've had a horse you've been riding for 10, 15 years, it doesn't hurt to go through this stuff at all. Just, check and make sure it's all working good. Give the horse a reminder that, guess what? The rules have never changed. They're not going to. We still have expectations of you. And, that's the kind of thing. And, you're getting jealous, girl. Oh, this one here. It's the worried girl. As you can see, she's mellowing out quite a bit. But that's what I want to show you. I just want to remind you, because I talk about the basics and stuff like that, and I don't often show you what you should be doing. I talk about it, but I don't show it to you, and so I just thought I'd very quickly, this isn't very detailed, but just want to give you a little reminder that you should run through all this stuff, and probably more that I'm forgetting about right now, and make sure that your horse is up to snuff, that everything's good, everything's working good, especially this flexing thing, extremely important, because if you can't get the head around, if you can get the head around, you can prevent them from bolting, spooking, bucking, all kinds of things. That's your brakes. And sensitivity to the lead is also sensitivity to the reins. As most of you know, I ride in that halter right there with, in fact, here's my reins right here. And, this indicates how good my steering's going to work. This is how hard I'm going to have to pull on the reins to get a response from them. And that's important to know. It's important to know that stuff. So, the brakes and steering stuff, incredibly important. You should always be checking that stuff all the time. And everything else, it's just, it lets you know how well educated you got your horse in the first place, and reminds the horse that there's rules and there's cues, and that way anytime you need to do something with your horse, it's not going to be, I wonder if it's going to work this time. I haven't done it in months. You'll know. Before you ever ask, you'll know for sure whether or not it's going to work, and there you go. So take your time and start from the beginning. Check on your catching, the leading, and anything you can absolutely think of that you could possibly do on the ground that is going to make a difference in your life and the life of your horse. Because it's stuff that you're never going to not need, and the horse never is going to not need to know. It's never going to go away. It's never going to change. So even though it's not new stuff, it is still it's still pertinent. It's pertinent. It's current. It still matters today. It'll matter tomorrow, and it'll matter next year, the year after, and the year after that. It's never going to not matter. It's never going to become obsolete or anything like that. So there you go. Take the time. Like I said, depending on how much experience the horse has got, you might want to be doing that. Run through this stuff every day before you ride, or every time you ride. However often you do that, and you can do a condensed version of all this stuff and just check and make sure stuff is working. You can run through absolutely everything in probably less than 5 minutes just to make sure that things are going to work. It doesn't take very long to pick up a lead and find out whether or not you're going to have brakes and steering and do a side pass and disengage and back the horse up. I mean, you could probably do that in 2 minutes or less. I don't know. Well, how long is this video? I just showed you everything you need to go through. And, if your horse has got lots of experience, you might not need to do it very often, but it still isn't going to hurt to do this stuff every once in a while just to check and make sure it's all working and it's all in good order, that the horse doesn't have some problems, and that way you know what to expect when you're out riding, and if you need something, you know what you're going to get. So there you go. No surprises. Go back to the beginning and refresh that stuff every once in a while, because it's always a good idea. Have a good day.